so that my name should be established for distant days and never fall into oblivion, so that my praise should be uttered throughout the land, and my glory should be proclaimed in the foreign lands. I, the fast runner, summoned my strength, and to prove my speed, my heart prompted me to make a return journey from Nippur to brick-built Ur, as if it were the only distance of a double hour. In the historical period known as the Sumerian Renaissance, the third dynasty of Ur, or the Neo-Sumerian Empire, lived one of the greatest Mesopotamian kings. Son of the great Ur-Nammu, who was famous for creating some of the first codes of law, King Šulgi of Ur was a gifted king who pioneered the art of writing and the school system. He allegedly ran from Ur to Nippur and back in a single day. His reputation was godlike, and in his inscriptions he would claim himself king of all the lands. Today, we are going to look at a particular favourite of mine and of the Sumerian school systems, a praise poem for Šulgi. Stay tuned till the end, where we will delve into a Sumerian sentence on this tablet and its 4,000-year-old grammar. But first, let's set the scene. The year is around 1900 BCE, during the Old Babylonian period, in the Sumerian city of Nippur. Students of the 𒆳𒆳𒊏💗, or House of Tablets, were studying lexical lists, proverbs, copying down stories of myth, legend, the wrath of the gods, and the legendary kings that served them. Stories such as Gilgamesh, Sargon-of-Akkad, and Naram-Sin's fate at the hands of the god Enlil. Sumerian had disappeared as a spoken language and was replaced by Akkadian, yet Sumerian survived as a prestigious religious and scholarly language, much as Latin did in medieval Europe. Many Sumerian religious and literary texts are known only from Old Babylonian copies. A popular story that students would copy down is a praise poem to Šulgi. What's really interesting in this composition that it was written in Sumerian. However, when looking at the cuneiform signs used by the Akkadian scribes of the period, we can see the integration of Akkadian signs within this tablet. For example, you can see here the symbol for God is actually the Akkadian sign for God, Elu, whereas the Sumerian is diğir. Also interestingly, the use of the diğir symbol before Šulgi's name is being used as a silent determinative, so that the reader knows that the name that follows this symbol is divine. The poem itself venerates the king and his multitude of success and prowess. He makes reference to being born to be a mighty man, endowed with wisdom and beauty by the gods, and even claiming to be in a relationship with the goddess of sexual love and war, Inanna. The poem was the first in a series known as the Decad. The Decad comprises 10 Sumerian literary compositions that were grouped together in antiquity for pedagogical purposes. Tablets of the Decad share little thematically, however, but they are commonly each approximately 200 lines long, which makes them a more manageable teaching tool and greatly increase their utility as educational materials. It is in these pieces of literature that the scribe is confronted with the Sumerian language in its natural habitat. After mastering them, a scribe could say he had truly learned Sumerian. The city of Nippur was excavated by the University of Pennsylvania from around 1888 onwards, and a plethora of these tablets have been found in an area known as Tablet Hill. Within this area is an area known as House F, a Sumerian scribal school. 1,425 tablets or tablet fragments with a rich variety of text genres were recovered from House F in level 11, making it one of the most important known scribal schools. House F represents one of the rare and particularly fruitful occasions when the archaeological context of the tablets was perfectly recorded, allowing a detailed reconstruction of the school curriculum. Now we are about to take a walk in a scribe's shoes and look at a Sumerian sentence and explore its grammar just as they would have done all those years ago. Quick note, the Sumerian teacher is known as the Umir, or master, expert. The scribal art, which they were a master of, is known as 𒆳𒆳𒊏💗💗, while students are known as 𝒆🆑💏💏, which is young or adolescent men/workers. It quite literally translates to small person. The goal of the students was to become scribes or dubsar, or masters themselves. Now, on to the lesson. So we are going to take a line from a genuine school tablet dated to the Old Babylonian period, which is now kept in the British Museum. So first we are going to transliterate these cuneiform signs. So we have 𝒳𒆳𒊏💏💗💗 𒆳𒆳𒊏💗💗. So let's break down the grammar. First of all, we have the word 𝒳𒆳𒊏, which is translated as respected or authoritative. Then we look at translating the end of the sentence next. This is generally how Sumerian sentences are translated, from the start to the end, back into the middle. Sumerian sentences normally follow the pattern subject, object, verb. So following this style, we have at the end 𝒳𒆳𒊏💏💄💏, which is the copular case, meaning I am, or it can mean you are. In this context, it is I am. So currently we have translated the authoritative one, I am. Moving back into the middle, we have the word diğir, meaning God. And then finally, we have the word 𒆳�💏, which means land or mountain. But as you can see, it is duplicated. This can represent plurality, as it does so here, making this say lands or all the lands. The ra represents what we call the genitive case. So the genitive case, for those unaware, is something that modifies usually a noun and normally marks possession. The r is being carried over from the previous sign. This is called the auslaut. The remaining a is the genitive, and here it means of. So altogether, for this section we have God of all the lands, or God of the lands. So putting it all together, I am the authoritative one, God of all the lands. Congrats, you've just learned some 4,000-year-old grammar and are well on your way to becoming a dubsar. Thanks for watching this video, and let me know if you prefer the longer, more in-depth content.